because we've got so many old friends of the department and of Phil. So welcome all of you to this wonderful gathering. I want to say a few words before we kick off our celebration here. As you know, we've got dinner at about 7 o'clock, so we'll say a few words about Phil, and then dinner starts, and about the time we serve dessert, we'll start the program itself. We've got a number of friends of Phil who will come and say, I think, very good things about him. You never know, but I'm betting that they'll be good. I wanted to kick this off by saying a few things about Phil myself. I wanted to recap a little bit about Phil's career here in mechanical engineering. As many of you know, Phil received his bachelor's from MIT, his master's and his PhD from Stanford, and he's been with our department since 1970, right? And he's worked on a number of different things, a number of different research areas, particularly in the thermal and fluid sciences. He's published extensively, he's got patents, and he's extremely well known in the thermal fluids area. But every one of you knows that the thing that Phil is celebrated for above all else is his teaching, right? Every one of you knows he's one of the most accomplished teachers that this department's ever seen, one of the most beloved teachers that this department's ever seen. And I don't use the word beloved lightly. This is actually true. And I know it to be true despite not being here for very long because of the exit interviews that I do. Every year every semester I have exit interviews. I do exit interviews of graduating seniors. And I can tell you that every single interview that I do is a Phil Schmidt love fest, and I'm not. I mean, it literally is, and I've remarked on this before. It makes you sick to hear all of this Phil Schmidt love. You know, they almost don't talk about anything else, and so I've got to goad them into saying, is there anybody else that you like? Is it only Phil? And so these interviews just go on, and I'll tell you. The thing that really hits you when you listen to this is how important teaching is and how influential good teachers are, how many generations of students and for how long good teaching influences people. And that's the thing that Phil really embodies. It's not just that he's, inspiring future generations of mechanical engineers. I think what he really does is that he teaches them how to live a committed life, how to live a life that is deep in its commitment to fundamental moral values. And he embodies that in his own life. He's done that through his deep commitment to the things that he does, to his students and to his teaching. And I think that's really the thing that binds Phil's students to him. It's that depth of commitment that he exhibits, right? And so whenever I see this, I'm immensely moved by the fact that a good teacher can do this for his students. Right? So the universities recognize this, the world has recognized this in the number of awards and recognitions that Phil's received. But ultimately, though impressive all of these are, they're entirely trumped by the love and regard that he's held by his colleagues, by his students, and by the engineering community in general. I know these are just words, and I know that a number of you are engineers, and so you're really looking for numbers. You probably want me to quantify this, love and affection in numbers of some kind. I can tell you, and I can actually give you numbers. So let me read you an email from our webmaster, Carol, who's sitting right there, and she sent me this email yesterday. We'd put up a story about Phil's retirement on our webpage. And so here's, I'll quote from Carol's email. She says, well, we've gotten a huge response to the story on Facebook since it went up. It has had about 1,700 views and many comments, making it far and away the most popular story we've ever had on Facebook. So by comparison, it's usually something like 300 to 500 views, with 700 being very good, and we've had 1,700 views about Phil Schmidt's retirement story. So this tells you something about So it tells you not just about the people in this room, but about the world of students out there who are paying attention to Phil and to everything that he's done for us. So I hope, Phil, whether it's through awards or numbers or mouse clicks, you understand how much we care about everything that you've done for us, how much we appreciate everything that you've done for our department, and what an inspiration you've been to all of us. Thank you. All right, so the buffet is open. Please go off and help yourselves. At about the time for dessert, we'll get together again, and the program will then begin in earnest. Have a good evening.